Hello, welcome to everybody who is tuning in live, and if you're joining us in the future for the replay, hello to you as well. Thank you for joining us for what is the second instalment in this Skywalker saga of Black Series wish lists. Today we're obviously tackling the original trilogy, and I am of course joined as always by my good pals Dan and James. How you doing, gents? You all right? Show a bit of enthusiasm this time. Come on, you know you can do it.
Hello? Can you hear me this time? Let me know, chat, because last time we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but hopefully we fixed that. So
cheers, chat. You cost Dan 50 quid this
yeah,
week.
you've cost, well, 55. Add an extra $5 on that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You can hear me this time. Hopefully I'm not that loud.
Loud enough, mate. Loud enough.
Loud as I can be.
It's all good. It's all good. We're going to be pretty much jumping straight into things today, because usually with these streams, Hasbro time it really well and end up dropping a ton of reveals ready for us to talk about, and they've not done that this time, which is a little bit disappointing. We do have on March 25th, which if you're watching this on replay at the time of recording is a couple of days away, we've got a Hasbro Pulse fan stream, which I'm assuming is going to showcase some new reveals and some pipeline stuff. Just on that note, guys, is there anything in particular that's been pipelined recently, or that you want to see get revealed from that fan stream, or are you just sort of going with the flow, whatever will be sort of thing?
Going with the flow.
Yeah.
I'm suspecting that there's going to be some reveals for exclusives for Celebration, if there's even going to be an exclusive for Celebration. But we'll see. We will see.
We shall. I think for me, the only thing that it's not officially being pipelined, but at this point we know we're getting it, and it'd be really nice to see it get revealed during the fan stream is Dash Rendar, Black Series Dash Rendar. I think now that we've had the reveal of the Luke in the Coruscant Guard disguise and the Leia 2-pack, I think it only seems fitting to reveal that one next, whether or not we get it or not. But we've had it sort of unofficially announced as part of that blurb from the product description on Pulse. So fingers crossed for a Dash. Obviously, me being me, I'm going to hold out for a Kyle Katarn announcement, because that bearded head definitely was Kyle Katarn and definitely wasn't Ezra Bridger. Nate, if you're watching, I don't appreciate the attacks during your last show. It really upset me. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm like you said, I'm just happy to see anything new, to be honest. What about you, James? Anything in particular?
So join me on a little tale for the day. That post for the live stream reveal said at the bottom there's going to be a special guest joining them. And then today I open up Instagram and I see Steve Evans from Hasbro, and I've just forgot his fucking name. His Instagram handle is Angry Appa, who is the gentleman that plays Carson Tabor. There was a bit of banter back and forth, how it's been over 1,500 days since I presume Carson Tabor appeared, and he still hasn't got his action figure. He's a very big action figure collector, so maybe one or the other will join him on the live stream and finally fucking get one.
That's not a bad shout. It now that you've said that and pieced that puzzle together, it actually makes quite a lot of sense. So I'd be here for that. I'd be here for a Carson Teva figure. If it means a brand new Rebel pilot sculpt, then finally after 12 years, then I'm definitely all for it. Bring it on.
Paul Sun Hyung Lee. That's his name.
There you go.
Couldn't forgive myself if I didn't fix that.
James definitely did not just
Obvious
Google
flaw.
that, by the way. Definitely did not.
I remembered with the power of the internet.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what gets revealed then. Like I said, it'd be nice if we get some left field stuff. But yeah, just I'll take anything at this point. My wallet won't, but you know, it is what it is. We have got some guys in the chat. Collector Curve is here. Hello there. Crash the Hedgehog. It's go time. It sure is. Django Fett 220 is here. He's on the Power of the Force 2 hype as well, and we love to see that. Who else have we got? Sea Lion is here as well. Hello there. I know this is an OT live stream, but I just ordered the original Revenge of the Sith edition for you. I've shadowed. Oh, mate, this is something I'm doing as well. Like, I'm down the rabbit hole of Power of the Force 2, and we'll get to that in a bit. But I'm finding myself now scrolling through eBay looking at like card samples, previous lines as well, and I'm slowly but surely compiling a cart full of different card samples. So yeah, and that collection stage drops. I don't know when, but when it does, I don't have a date in mind at all. Yeah, but there'll be a pretty nice 50 carded material in there for the Mondays over. We got in there, David here. Late as usual. Well, what can we do, mate? What can we do?
Fashionably late.
We were queuing to get in. What can we say? Dan, you missed an opportunity to say, "Can you hear me?" in Sheev's voice. I've got to say, the ASMR vibes are strong. Not just with the mic, but I can hear the rain in the background, and I don't know whether
can
that's...
you? Oh,
I can, and I'm loving it. I'm very chill.
Do you want me to leave it? Do you want me to leave it? I can't. I'll see if I can turn it. Just
I love it. It's calming. It's putting me in a tranquil, chilled out mood. I'm here for it, mate. It's all good.
Lovely.
Who else have we got? Seth's here as well. I think the special guest on the Hasbro stream will be Nick Frost revealing SM33. That'd be a good shout as well. I'd be here for that too.
Oh yeah.
But we will find out on March the 25th, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's right. Like I said, time of recording, a couple of days away. Like I said, we haven't got any reveals to go through, so before we jump into our original trilogy wish list for the Black Series, as always, let's throw it to what we've been adding to our collections.
Oh, bugger.
Oh, bugger indeed, Dan.
Yes.
You've gone and done it again, so, mate, I'm going to open it up for you. The floor is yours.
This seems
Please
like
add
a running...
that voice clip onto the front of that little video next time. That's got to be on everyone now.
Yeah, because like last week or last time, say last week, it's been a hot minute since we've seen each other on it. I've done some naughties. I've done a lot of naughties looking at this table. There's probably even more, but let's just get into it, shall we? So, as you all know, I've been on a bit of an Indiana Jones kick recently, and I managed to get this. Oh, fucking hell. They've already started falling over.
He's got that much. It's just a towering...
It's just a mess.
Oh,
so I got this off of eBay. Alright, who wants to guess how much I found this for?
$1 million.
25 quid.
Less than that.
Oh, mate.
I got it for 17.
Whoa.
Wow.
Granted, it is a little bit dinged. You know, there's some scuffs, but it's, you know what? I was like, you know what? I love these collector sets, like these cinema scene sets. They did one for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They did one for Last Crusade, and there's this one. There was 3 in total. I was originally just going to get it to open to get the Cairo Frogs, because the Cairo Frogs really hard to find for some reason. At least those versions. So I can't do it. I've had to keep it boxed, and I don't know where I'm going to put it. So it's sitting over here for now, off frame.
That's beautiful, mate. Do you know what though? That really makes me wish that Star Wars battle packs were still a thing.
I know, right?
That presentation is just on point.
It's a missed thing with action figures. It's an easy way to get older figures out in the line, or re-release stuff and give it a purpose. Do you know what I mean? So here we go.
Oh bugger!
Oh fuck! Where do we even begin? So this is in no way chronological. First and foremost, we got this new boy today, Commander Bakara.
Oh yeah.
He's all right. He's all right. We don't mind him. He's lovely. I have reviewed him actually, and the review is up now on my YouTube channel. But don't go anywhere just yet. Watch it after, you cheeky scrubs. Right. So then going into, because I've been on a massive Power of the Force kick as well. Been on lots of kicks. Let's start off with a fun one. We've got Chewbacca covered in cocaine. He has been on the snow for sure. He's lovely.
Imperial marching powder.
Imperial marching powder, that's the one. We've got Luke joining him at some festival because he's got his bucket hat on, and
that's Fear and Loathing Luke.
That's it, Fear and Loathing Luke. I didn't realise
Donald Trump rally Luke Skywalker.
He's even got head bobbing action, like do. Yeah, love that. He's cool. And then I wasn't going to get this one. I've been holding off on it, but then I've just not found it anywhere on eBay. And this shop that's near to me actually has it. This Nostalgic Toys in Sheffield. They mainly do Lego, but they've had Power of the Force bits in. I've been putting this one off, and then I looked on eBay, and there's just none of them listed. So I got Aunt Beru with her milk. Luke.
Shut up, Aunt Beru. God.
So you got, and then you've got a cool little weird droid thing. That's nice.
Oh, that's foreshadowing.
Oh yeah, it is actually. It's a bit of
foreshadowing.
It's a tiny bit of foreshadowing, isn't it? And then we've got. I managed to find this one off of eBay. It's the 8080 Commander. I got him for a really good price. I think it was like a tenner. Excuse me. Sorry. Should have muted myself then, because I can do that. Because look, you didn't hear what I said. Because that's part of the haul as well. Because obviously last week. Yeah, we'll touch base on that. What else we got? We got Woohoo. He's a bit of a sought after boy. I'm pretty sure. And I ripped it out of the bubble because I'm an absolute savage.
You bastard.
Oh,
Dan, did I tell you you're a bastard? Dan just said fuck off.
Oh. What else have we got? This is taking fucking ages. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. We've got C-3PO, who's armless. Here he is. But his arm keeps falling up. And his leg is... Yeah, it's an oldie figure, so...
You need a net for that.
Yeah, I do. He's a bit janked up, but I love him. He's the flashback one. What else? We've got Slave Leia. You know, it's always nice to have one of them on your collection. Rubbing the Monday for sure. You had to throw that one in, didn't you? We've got backpacker, hiker, rebel, Endor soldier, who's off on his jollies. He's lovely. We've got Leia giving everyone a special medal. You know, just appropriating that toxic men masculinity. Fantastic. I don't know what I'm doing here. We got Lando Calrissian in skiff disguise. He's lovely.
Are we just going through the entire run of Power of the Force?
You know what? It really feels like it, doesn't it? So let's just try and speed it up a bit. We got Jawa with the gonk droid with leg kicking action. There's a little jig.
Brilliant.
We've got 2 singers, Slice Noodles and Joe Yowza.
Oh yeah.
Giving a little kiss. And then we've got Han, Endor. We've got Luke, Hoth, all the different climates. And I say even all the climates. We've got even space because we've got the space trooper.
Fucking hell.
Oh shit! I forgot this one as well. I just looked on my shelf. I've got mental. So I've got R2D2 with the firing missile. So there we go.
We've brought it forward, Sea Lion. We couldn't wait.
That's it. I think that's it. There's probably more somewhere, but
Are you sure?
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm
Bloody
gonna call it. I'm gonna call it that.
Well, further to that point, mate, I'm not gonna lie, decent haul.
Yeah, pretty good, isn't it?
But further to that point, the fun doesn't stop. Because my haul this week, I picked up a Power of the Force Reuse, who I actually already have loose, but he's missing his weapons. I picked him up second-hand years ago, so for the longest time I've wanted one that came with the weapons. And then when I got this one, I wasn't expecting it to be as in good condition as it is, and because Reuse is one of my favourite alien characters from Star Wars, foreshadowing, I couldn't pull myself to open it up. So he's stayed carded, he's going in a little case, and he's going to get hung up on my wall. But I'm very, very happy with him. He looks very, very nice. And like I said, that card is very sexy as well.
He's very snazzy, isn't he?
He is. He's looking sharp. Also picked up a Power of the Force Grail, and this ties in really nicely to one of your pickups, Dan. Because, and just further to Sea Lion's point in the chat, justice for Slave Layer merch, justice for Ula as well. Let's get some Ula back out into rotation. Finally picked up the Power of the Force 2 mail away exclusive Ula and Salacious Crumb. This is one that oddly goes for a pretty ridiculous amount on eBay and the secondary market, but it's pretty tricky to find one that's actually in decent condition because it comes in one of those slip cases, and for whatever reason Kenner at the time decided to tape those sleeves to the box, and so sometimes you find these and they've got tears on the edges, but this one's pretty mindful, pretty demure, pretty immaculate, and other than a couple of dints and dings, it doesn't look all that bad. So I'm absolutely buzzing for that. That one's another.
Is that
one
a unique figure there, Steve, or is it a repainted Ayla Secura?
It's actually it's actually a brand new sculpt, believe it or not. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but Ula and Ayla Secura actually look nothing alike, so it wouldn't make much sense to reuse the parts there. But I see what I definitely see what you're getting at, James, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
If you know.
So yeah, there we go. So that's my Power of the Force 2 haul, considerably smaller than Dan's, but pretty good nonetheless. And then this is where it gets really, really good because I'm very, very excited about this haul. So my mum just went to New York last week, and because I knew she was going, I was like, Mother, will you do me a favour? Will you pop to Times Square, please, and have a look in the Tamashii Nations store? Because when I went to New York, that store wasn't open, and I'm really, really gutted that I missed a chance to visit it. So she was like, yeah, what are you looking for? Sent her a list. And her and my wife got together and did me a little early birthday spend. So, all the way from the United States of America, we have some Tamashii Nations goodness, and I am absolutely buzzing my little samurai nipples off. Look, it's got little samurai nipples. So I got the Ashigaru Stormtrooper Remnant. That was incredibly.
Oh, we're cancelled now. That's it.
That was.
I thought it'd be me that'd do it.
That was inappropriate, and I do apologise, but it had to be done. This is the new Remnant Stormtrooper that comes with the Camtoner, comes with little Beskar ingots and all that sort of good stuff. It's a more weathered version of the Imperial Stormtrooper, but it is very, very nice nonetheless. I also got, which was on my list, was I'm not going to do it again, Samurai Taisho, I can't pronounce Japanese words. Darth Vader, Vengeful Spirit. This is the Obi-Wan, the one from that's based on his appearance in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and as such comes with an alternate helmet that's cracked, and you can see Anakin's head underneath it. And buyer beware, if you pick this one up, just be careful when you swap the helmets out, because they are very, very easily broken, but still very, very cool nonetheless. So yeah, buzzing with that one. Look at the lightsaber on it, man. So cool. And these display stands with like the floating rocks and stuff, they are absolutely unreal. And I've got them down
the Imperial cog on his cape there. That's weird.
Yeah, man, it's so good. And I've got them down to like showcase out of my cabinet, but they are just so fragile. And I just don't really fancy putting them down and knocking them over midstream. So the boxes will have to suffice. But yeah, got that one as well. And then can't have Vader without someone to fight. So Bosch. Didn't expect them to have this in, but my mum messaged me while she was there and was like, "Oh, they had a third figure as well that wasn't on your list. Are you interested?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. If I'd have known they'd got it, I'd have asked for that one instead of the Stormtrooper." So I sent her back into the store to go and get this one as well. So this is the Sohai Obi-Wan Kenobi, and my God. Like, I thought this, I must admit, I thought this was going to be my favourite of the three, but I actually really, really like the Stormtrooper. But Jesus Christ, is this figure insane. Like, the detail on it, the accessories that it comes with, absolutely unreal. This is another one that comes with one of those display stands with the floating rocks. Comes with a little origami T16, which is amazing. He's got the straw hat as well. It's just giving major Star Wars Visions vibes. And it is just absolutely sick. So yeah, I am absolutely over the moon, especially with those two, because they pair up so nicely together. And like I said, when I get around to doing my inevitable collection update, I've got quite a chunky portion of one of my details that's dedicated now to Tamashii Nations. So I can't wait to share that with you. So yeah, pretty expensive month for me. Look, thankfully a couple of those are birthday gifts, but the other one I'm going to have to remortgage my house to pay for. So there we go. James, what about you, mate? Have you picked up recently?
Hell. I can't follow that, so I won't try. Just like carefully grab them off my shelf because I am ill prepared. Where's fucking this cheeky chappy today?
Oh, look at him!
Whoa, he looks good.
Fucking awesome.
See, me and Dan were talking before we went on air about, because he obviously picked up Bakara, and I said, you know what, I've got Bakara on pre-order myself, but I just don't get excited about Clone Troopers like I used to. I'm getting very excited about that one. And I'm even more excited for that.
I'll be honest, like I won't taint your expectations. I like it, and I don't. They've done something really fucking weird with the torso, where it's got. Let's see, just get a better angle where his lightsabers are in the waist. He's got a ball joint at the waist here, but then he's also got one at the upper torso, and I feel like maybe I've just like spent too much time looking at the Hot Toys one, but I feel that his body is too slender for his arms and his shoulders, and I don't think that joint's helped because it's a little elongated, but he still looks cool. He's fucking walking off, he's had enough of me sliding. But yeah. Remember they're all look, fucking hell, I'm drunk today, lads. There we go. Everything's backwards on it. That old chestnut from all them years ago. Prowkish.
He's hard to control, mate.
It's just look at that.
Look at that horny boy. God, I
He's
need him.
right. He's
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I got Black Series Kelnacker as well, but I left him on the shelf because I fucking forgot. So, but that's great. Like that's a good figure.
Yeah, it looks like a belter. I'm definitely going to have to pick that one up. I'm going to have to get all three, to be honest. Yeah, nice one. The chat is alive tonight, lads. I'm loving it. We've actually as well had quite a relevant comment from Seth Nico, which I've just got to point out because I think we failed to mention it on the last stream. But Seth's asking, anyone excited for Comic Con Liverpool in May? They have some pretty insane Star Wars guests going. Well, Seth, I can tell you there are 3 gentlemen sat here that are very excited for Comic Con Liverpool in May because the 3 of us are bloody going. So we'll see you there.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Oh my God! Like, can we just take a minute to talk about the lineup for Comic Con Liverpool? It's absolutely unreal. Like, I'm never going to financially recover from this. I'm actually, in fairness, I'm actually quite happy that a couple of the photo ops and autograph sessions have sold out because if they hadn't,
yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we've got like Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, Natasha, can never pronounce the surname, who played Sabine in Ahsoka. Like, it's Emin Esfanadi, who played Ezra. The list goes on and on. Dan, I know Baldwin. It's not Star Wars related, but Eric Bobby. Doing it again. Going to get cancelled. But no, it's a solid lineup. It is a solid lineup. And yeah, look, mate, you've got to. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. It's just it's in too poor taste. But yeah, it's going to be pretty sick. I'm excited. We've all made arrangements. We've all made plans. Guys, who are you? You're both going to see. I haven't got any photo ops or autographs booked yet, but I'm pretty sure you guys have. So, who are you off to see, Dan?
I'm seeing Napoleon Dynamite, John Heder himself, because Napoleon Dynamite is like one of my favourite movies, besides Star Wars, of course.
Yeah, right there with you, man.
I need his autograph, and then the guy who plays Pedro can never pronounce his name, so I'm going to have to learn that before I meet him. He's going as well, he plays Pedro, and I can't wait. I've got both their autographs. They were the 2 main ones that I wanted, and if I'd known what we now know, I would have maybe booked, obviously, Hayden, other people, but I'm happy with them too. If I can get to see anyone else, cool.
Bonus, yeah.
Bonus, do you know what I mean? Rosario is definitely one I wouldn't mind getting. And likewise having Natasha and the guy who plays Ezra. I always forget the names, I'm terrible, I'm sorry. But I'd love to have those three. If not, Cameron Mahagan as well, who plays Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
It's an incredible lineup.
Yeah,
Nicholas Hoult.
You've got James McAvoy as well.
Yeah.
Emily Swallows, who played the Armourer in The Mandalorian. That's one I'm going to get because I've got a Black Series Armourer figure ready and waiting. It boxed in a acrylic Star Action Figures case. So I'm definitely getting her autograph while I'm there for sure. I'm just looking forward to a really fun day out. It's been a while since the 3 of us have met up in person and had a good old geek out. So I'm just excited for that, to be honest. But yeah, we're at Liverpool Comic Con on the Saturday.
It's a fun-filled weekend, isn't it?
It's a force-filled weekend, lads. On the Saturday, May the 3rd, it's Liverpool Comic Con, and then on Sunday, May the 4th, it's the Star Wars Fan Fun Day down in Blackburn, or up in Blackburn, wherever you're travelling from. And I'm stoked for that as well. Dare say that there'll be many Power of the Force purchases made there too. So,
absolutely.
It's going to be a very, very good weekend, and naturally there'll be content and streams following all the festivities from that. So yeah, can't wait. Very giddy. I think that's just about it in terms of pickups and in terms of what's going on, generally speaking. One thing I just want to quickly touch base on before we dive into our picks for our Black Series wish list is I was chatting to, and he's in the chat right now, so Collector Cove 93, I appreciate you reaching out this afternoon and sending me a few bits. to discuss on the stream. For those who don't know, head over to Instagram, give Collector Curve 93 a follow. He's a bit of an action figure customizer, and in the spirit of figures that we wish were made in the Black Series 6-inch line from the original trilogy, Tom showcased a couple of his recent customs, and I just wanted to showcase his work.
They're incredible.
They are so good. Not sure if these have been seen yet, but he's just done a K3PO and a Lando in Han Solo disguise. And the K3PO in particular, because I've got a soft spot for protocols, that figure looks, first and foremost, it looks like Hasbro made.
Yeah.
Like the paint job on it and the weathering and stuff is so... In fact, it looks better than Hasbro made, because if it was Hasbro made, it wouldn't be weathered. So that just looks absolutely unreal. I think that's fantastic. Sadly, I don't think K3PO made the cut for any of our picks, but having seen this figure now and what it would look like as a Black Series figure...
His buddy did, though, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, I just think what an amazing figure that'd be. And myself and Tom were talking earlier, and we were saying, there just needs to be more droids in the Black Series line. And like we were talking TC-14, R3PO. There's just such a plethora, and they're such easy figures to make because all it'd take is a quick repaint. So Hasbro, Brandon, if you're listening, K3PO, get him out there, because definitely a really cool looking figure, and like I said, that custom is absolutely superb. It just really gets my creative juices flowing. I want to start painting and customizing again.
Oh, don't tempt me.
So yeah, good stuff.
I think he must have messaged the three of us at the same time, because he sent me these pictures as well. And I love K3PO. I think it's an awesome droid. I remember getting the Lego minifigure in one of the 2007 Lego sets of Echo Base, and it was like, exclusive minifigure. I don't think they ever did it again, in fact. So I've always just liked that droid's just weird, cool little background droid. But I was saying I can't fucking look at that version of Lando. It weirds me out, and it's partially Family Guy's fault. Because they're special. they're about to leave to look for Han, and he's like, "Oh, seriously, look, he's wearing exactly the same clothes as Han Solo. It's weird." And from then on, it's like, what? It's like he's fucking gone, and he's wearing his best mate's clothes. It's a bit, it's
a bit weird, isn't it? To be fair, like in Lando's defence, he was probably running about like a blue-ass fly trying to shoot all them stormtroopers. Probably worked up a little bit of a sweat, jumped on the Falcon, left Cloud City behind, and was like, "Oh crap, I should have left some of my capes on the Falcon. I haven't got anything else to wear, and I stink." Han doesn't have anything kicking about him.
It's just 20 of the same outfit in a row. That's where
like Dexter's lab.
I'm assuming you guys know the production reason why that was done.
Enlighten me.
No, I actually don't. Go for it.
Okay, so at the end of Return the Empire Strikes Back, they put Han in carbonite because at the time Harrison Ford had only signed on to do so many films, from what I remember.
Yeah, I know about that.
Right. And I think the reason to try and pull him in to do the next one was they put Billy D at the end of the film, so when he sat watching it, he saw Billy D in his costume as Han, as a way to try and incentivize him. Like, look, if you don't come back, this guy's going to basically become your character.
Oh, what? That's mint.
So there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Good stuff.
And the legend has it, an hour later, he rang George Lucas up himself.
Probably did. Hey, I want my job back.
Yeah. I like money.
What the fuck do you mean you're replacing me?
Or it could have gone the other way, and he could have been like, "Look, if you don't sign on for the next one, this is what's going to happen." I don't care.
I'm Indiana Jones, bitch.
Nah, but back to the figures. Stunning work, Tom and Collector Cove 93. Awesome stuff. Keep those coming. Yeah, so like I said, no reveals to talk about, nothing else really to it. So let's just dive in and let's discuss the original trilogy. Now, I think I alluded at the end of the last stream we did that this was at least my personal favourite wish list to put together because let me just I'll hint at what's to come. The glue shitters are strong with this one because it's one of those where it's like at least and I'm going to speak for myself here, but for me, it was like, there's so many characters from the original trilogy that are probably at some point, maybe not this year, maybe not next, maybe not in the next couple of years, but at some point have a pretty strong chance of getting made. Now, my logic for this was let's just throw shit at a wall and see what sticks.
Isn't that what we do anyway?
It is. But at the same time, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to get a bit weird with it.
It's a pretty fucking clean wall.
But I thought let's just get weird with it. Do you know what I mean? Because there's so many glup shitters, there's so many background characters, there's so many blinking you'll miss them aliens, Imperials, droids. There's just so much goodness with the original trilogy, and that the same can be said for the prequels as well. But I think just some of the character designs with the original trilogy just speak to me a little bit more. And so this was a really, really, really fun list to put together. We're going to go around with what we've done is, if you tuned into the prequel stream that we did a few weeks back, very, very similar sort of premise. Instead of picking, multiple choices from each movie, we've just gone with one character choice from each film, just to keep the stream short and concise. No, we didn't really do that last time, but hopefully we'll be able to compartmentalize it a little bit better this time around. So we've each picked a figure from A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. But naturally, because of the plethora of characters that we've got, we had to throw it to some honourable mentions as well. So let's just quickly touch on those before we get into our main picks. Because again, like I said, the glub shitters, they be strong with this stream. So, James, mate, talk us through your first honourable mention.
World's biggest ice cream fan, Mr. Wilru Hood. I mean, can't fucking watch the film without seeing him run past anymore, can you?
You can't.
It's become such a fucking figure of iconography within the Star Wars fan base. I just think he deserves a figure.
Yeah.
Have they only done one before in Legacy Collection?
Yeah.
Am I right in saying that? Just one. Let's have another. Give 6-inch collectors one. You never have to do him again. But it's just weird, and I love that it's just been built on so much over the years that they took what he was holding in his hand and made it into something for the Mandalorian. I love that particular ice cream maker like skyrocketed in value because all the prop builders were buying them up back in the day. It's just so ridiculous. It's like all the blasters, how actual wartime weapon and all that memorabilia went up in price because people were trying to buy them and then destroy them to make Star Wars guns with. So it's like somewhere out there's someone that really wanted to make ice cream that day and fucking couldn't because Star Wars fans were putting buttons on it and super gluing bits of shit to it. So that figure on your shelf, that'd tell a good damn tale. And it doesn't matter that it's got fuck all to do with Star Wars in terms of the film, because I think everything that's built around that character is better than that.
It's inspired a generation, hasn't it? And it's a cultural, within the Star Wars fandom, like you said, it's like a cultural phenomenon now. I mean, you can't go to Celebration or any Star Wars convention without seeing a running of the hoods. Yeah. And it's like, I think if this figure ever got made, I'd have to make a point of getting every person who's ever partook in a running of the hoods, because I know a few of them. Nez, if you're watching, Andy, if you're watching, I'd have to get you all to sign it because it's just such a bizarre thing that's just took off.
Yes.
And it's just mint, and I love it. And I love that just that one, like you said, that one snippet of the movie that's just literally, like I said, a blink and you'll miss it thing has just become such a massive part of the Star Wars fandom. And then, like you said, the world building on top of it as well with the Cantono is mad. I mean, for Christ's sake, we've talk about topical. We've actually bloody got one, the Machinations figure. You know,
Oh dear.
a Far East inspired ice cream maker. It's mad. So I'm all for this. It's a yes from me. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Dan, what about your honourable mention, mate? Because this is a top tier choice, to be fair.
It's FX7, isn't it? And he's just got lots of arms. He's a big rod. He's a big rod with lots of arms that's gonna heal you. And who doesn't want that? Literally, all you need to do is take the Power of the Jedi one, upscale it, perfect. Because that Power of the Jedi one is perfect. No issues with it at all. And I just want... It's so weird. It's just a weird looking dude. A weird little droid. There he is.
Again, like, this figure was released in 2001.
It's mad.
And you could I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that Hasbro have said previously that they'll probably never make this again, just because it'd be way too expensive to make with all the hinges and the individual articulation points. Which, personally, like I you know, you've got to understand it from a business point of view. Like tooling budgets have gone up, but you know, you could get this back out in the line. Just repack the bloody thing. Do you know what I mean?
Paint on that than IG-12.
There actually is. It's such a good figure. It is such a good figure, and it is even like I said, by today's standards, absolutely perfect. Like, they couldn't improve on this. The only way they could improve on it is if they upscaled it into the Black Series.
There we go.
But you know, it's so well done. It's so well done, and like you said, Dan, just take that figure, upscale it, and bang it into the Black Series.
It just frustrates me because we need more droids in the line. Like, we've got a C-3PO sculpt, yet we don't have any protocol droids.
Mm.
You know?
Well, we've got, and the one that we did get
I've just seen that.
What you do in your spare time, David? That's your business, mate. All right.
I bet he does. Yeah, well, I mean, we've had 000. We've had 000 in the Black Series, Dr. Aphra's protocol droid, but like, it's weird that one was made into an action figure before, like we were talking about prior, like K3PO and R3PO and TC-14 and all those other droids. Like, you know, there's just so many, like, and it's easy for them to do as well, like taking FX7 out of the equation. Protocol droids and astromechs as well in the same vein. Like, they're so easy to do because it's just a case of repainting.
Gonk droid. That would have been my other choice.
Yeah.
But that droids for me are a big part of Star Wars and the thing that I really like about it. And I think in Black Series it's the most undertapped thing. Like, for all you can put all the bells and whistles that they did with like that R2 they did, but sometimes you just don't need that. Just do like an upscaled Builder droid sculpt. I'd be cool with that. Do you know what I mean? Certain droids, yeah. Anything that needs any additional bells and whistles, great. But sometimes it just needs to be pure and simple.
Yeah.
Just to have a representation of it on the shelf.
That's it.
You know? That's the sideline that we need, not fucking hologram shit.
Yes.
An astromech line in tiny little boxes. Protocol droids in another. Waves of 4. Bang them on shelves. Different fucking colours. You know, bang the name on. Where they appeared. On the back of the box. Finito.
Yeah.
Bosh. Done.
Or in the same vein as the Clones of the Republic packs, for example, where we get a Jedi and a clone, do a protocol and an astromech pairing.
Yeah.
Obviously, to keep them in circulation, get C3PO and R2D2 out there, but then do U3PO and R2Q2. You know, like I said, K3PO and R5M2 from Echo Base. There's just so many droids, and it's like you said, Dan. Like we just don't. Aliens are one thing, but we don't get enough droids in the Black Series.
Good example.
Like,
Yeah.
oh hell yeah.
That was what I missed out from Mahal. But
Hang
you
on.
know,
Hang
this
on.
boy. Why haven't we got this boy in
Look at
Black
that.
Series? Come on now.
Well, jelly.
What? I just can't see 'cause the glare. Is that?
Oh, sorry.
I can't think
Yeah.
of its fucking name now, mate. Read me
It's
the name of the droid.
R2Q5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, Dan. We do have a Black Series one,
Oh, we do, don't we? It was.
but it's on the old mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to be Mr. Factual. I don't intend
No, you are.
to end your rant there, but
Get it
no,
out
it
again.
came in that silly Entertainment Earth 4-pack some years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, your point stands nevertheless, mate.
Not
Absolutely.
a problem. Thank you for the correction there, because I completely forgot about that one.
Well, it's easy to
Outdated
forget.
sculpt though, buddy. Get it on that
That's
new
it.
body, absolutely.
There we go.
This is it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were saying a minute ago when you were showcasing Commander Cody, I don't get excited for clone troopers like I used to back in the day because I think they've just been oversaturated to this point. But droids, I'm always here for.
Yeah.
When they did R4, was it R4 or R6 D0? Grief Karga's droid from The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I was
love
buzzing
that
when
one.
that came out because it's just like it's such a bizarre, like it's a blink and you'll miss it one again. But it's like the colour scheme was so cool, the design of the droid was really nice, and it's like just do more of that. Like just repaint droids and churn them out in every way. Like you could put one in every repaint it, put a new droid in every wave of Black Series figures, and I don't think anybody would complain. I certainly wouldn't. Like I said, if you reissued R2Q5 or R2, like I've seen in the comments, R2KT, I think is one that it's criminal we don't have a Black Series of that.
Yeah.
Not to encourage them, but that's an ideal candidate for an exclusive at some point.
R3S6.
Yeah, absolutely. Just pump those droids out and get them back into the line, especially in the Black Series, for sure. My pick is come on, man! It's Maximo, man! I got a gig, man! It's the guy. It's the blue elephant boy that Hasbro love a deluxe, and this is again prime candidate for the deluxe line because there ain't no way that organ is going to fit into a Black Series box, and I don't think his piano would fit in it either. Oh, you fuck off. Oh, no, don't laugh now. It's too late. You've ruined it. But, I mean, it's foreshadowing, but Max Rebo, multi-pack idea, start getting the band back into circulation. Give us Barquin Dan, give us a certain other character from the Max Rebo band. Give us Joe Yowza, give us Dodo Bodonoido, all those other glup shitters from Jabba's Palace. There we go.
Little kisses. Go on.
It's
Sarah,
like
my true love, what happened to you, baby?
You're right, mate.
Just getting it all out my system, mate. It's been a long fucking week.
Fantastic.
But I mean, come on. It's like it's one of those figures that it's just like it needs to be a Black Series figure. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. Like, this would have to be an exclusive. It absolutely would have to be an exclusive because there's no way that this could make it into the basic line. I'm pretty sure that a deluxe box would be absolutely huge as well. My ideal scenario for this, and this is where I'll advocate for the TVC collectors out there as well, is get it back out in 3 3/4 inch first, because I think it's we haven't seen a Max Rebo band in its entirety since the 30th anniversary collection, and even those figures were repaints of the Power of the Force versions. So we haven't had figures of these characters in over 30 years in any scale. So I definitely agree that they are warranted in TVC first. How I do that is I would simply just recreate the original Kenner Max Rebo band set with Max, Sice Noodles, and Droopy McCool. Throw the instruments in there, recreate that packaging. You know, imagine how people would react if they actually did that. It'd break the internet, and I'd be absolutely here for it. But then do the same in Black Series, and I've got the same vision in my head, in the same way that Gentle Giant upscale the original Kenner figures, and put the giant the jumbo figures, just upscale the packaging, upscale the figures, get them into the Black Series, and just have this beautiful, glorious, like egregious box set of the Max Rebo band, and I would absolutely lap it up. It'd be so cool to see. But like I know it's a Black Series wish list, but I'd be thrilled to see this in TVC as well. To be fair, so just get it back out there, and that goes for all of these characters as well. I'd love to see all of these on TVC cards. I think FX7 would be a prime candidate for a TVC card. I think Wilbur Hood, just repack that Legacy Collection one, get that back into circulation. I'm here for all of them. Glup Shittos assemble. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. There we go, Jet says, only the original 3-piece band, the special edition band scenes were pretty bad. Yeah, but it's everybody knows them now, don't they? Latinx. Come on. Let's have it. Yeah, nah, solid picks, lads. I'm here for all of them. Let's get into the meat and bones, though. Let's talk about our mainline picks.
Yum.
James, do you want to start off, mate, with
Why not, mate? Why not?
Because choice.
Even though you sent to me the other day, I still can't fucking remember what they are.
No, you never do your revision, do you?
I'm getting old, mate. I'm getting old. It's just falling out my fucking ears.
Well, hopefully this shakes up your memory. Let's throw it to A New Hope. And James, your first mainline pick for episode 4.
It's all coming back to me now. Yeah. Oh man, John Dutch Vander, is that right? Before I fucking piss a load of people off.
That's the one.
That's the one. I mean, my reasons are because I think he's, well, Star Wars animation fan. Yeah, he was in Rebels. He was in a few episodes of Rebels, and he was fucking cool in Rebels. The gentleman that played him passed away the other year. And I think it's a little criminal that we don't have a figure of him. Quite a big part of that scene in A New Hope. And I mean, I'm sure everyone felt the same when they saw Rogue One and they spliced in the archive footage of unused tapes of this guy
so cool.
for the Shieldgate run. I mean, it's so insignificant to the overall film that you forget it's in there. So every time you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, I like that bit. Gold Leader needs a figure.
Absolutely.
I mean,
further to what we were saying earlier when we were talking about the potential of Carson Tever in the line as well, like if ever there was a time to completely resculpt the Rebel pilot body, it's now. Yeah. I know we've had one in the form of the Snowspeeder pilot Luke, but we haven't had a brand new X-wing pilot body for going on for 12 years now. So I think it's definitely time to retire that sculpt and get a new one out there and make them unique as well. Don't just recycle the same body for the same figures, for different figures, make them all unique. I think, there's one character in particular that requires a unique sculpt more than anyone. That is, let's get him out there. Let's get him out there. He's, I just think it's like with the droids as well. There's just such a plethora of different characters that populate that sort of area of Star Wars that could just be made into figures. And I was buzzing when they made Merrick from Rogue One, but the fact that they put it out on that really dated, really short Luke body is like, come on. Like,
there's a way of doing it now with these overlays that they do. If they just tool up one standard book body for them all, to the point where they can just do these cheaper overlays, unique each time they want to do a pilot. There's got to be an economic way of doing it, surely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you could chop and change the parts. I mean, the torsos, for example, wouldn't need to be newly sculpted every time, but obviously to get the height and different proportions and stuff, like you just do the heads and the arms, the legs and stuff. Just make them different enough that they don't all look like the same figure on the same body. Because, like I said, that was my issue with Merrick. It was my issue with Wedge. They're just too short. They don't look like the characters would. I mean, Biggs, for example, someone mentioned in the comments that Biggs is an absolute must. Like, if they did Biggs, but put it out on that Luke body, Biggs is significantly taller than Luke. And so to have them stood next to one another, it just look janky and it'd just be off-putting. So we definitely need some new Rebel pilots.
I almost chose Biggs, funny enough, but I would have gone for his deleted scene outfit on Tatooine over the pilot one. But that's just me. But no, I'm in agreement. He needs a figure.
I'm the same. Like, don't get me wrong. I'd lap up a brand new pilot Biggs figure, but if you had to pick a costume, I'd definitely go with his deleted scene one, just because it's something we haven't seen before. We've obviously seen it in the 3 3/4 inch line, but we've never seen it in Black Series, and it's just different enough. Like, I know I'm making a case for creating brand new sculpts for the Rebel pilots because we do only have an handful, to be fair. But that's just a figure that I think, especially in the wider sense of an Episode 4 display, that Biggs figure would look a lot better.
Yeah,
as part of that setup, it's just stand out that little bit more. But no, I mean, for my money, just give us all the Rebel pilots from Episode 4.
With the likenesses that we get these days as well. A lot of the older pilots in 3 3/4 inch, the sculpts are dated to a point. Some figures over the years haven't always been dead ringers, whereas now I think we're at the peak of that situation, where for actors that are no longer with us, it's a nice nod to what they brought to the films, as that is now almost their lasting legacy in a way. So to have that represented on a sharpened plastic form, I think it's just another incentive to do them now and do them right, and as good as we could possibly have them.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. I'll always make the case for saying, these figures are this character or that character is well overdue, and it's criminal that they haven't been made yet. But I'll say it for every pick that I make on these wish lists. I'm glad that the figures that I pick haven't been made until now, because we've said it before, we'll say it again. Hasbro are doing their best work with Black Series. Like, if you're gonna get a figure made of your favorite character, it's better to get it later on when they're really, really putting the work in and making these figures as good as they possibly can be. Whereas if we'd have got these figures like maybe 8-9 years ago, they'd have been probably not as good as they would be now. So I'm all for delaying it if it just means it's going to be the best it can be. But no, I'd love to see that. And I think that one of the things I love about Rebel pilots as well is just the differences in helmets, like all the different markings and stuff. It's so cool to see, like, especially like in the 3 3/4 inch scale, when you've got a setup of Rebel pilots, it's so cool to see them all lined up and stuff like that. Just like have them, it just like fleshes out them ranks and just adds that depth to your shelf. So I'm definitely all in for that one. Dan, is there any other Rebel pilots you can think of that you'd like to see made?
One that I'm surprised we haven't talked about, and even though it's not, it's more other media, animated, Hera in a Rebel pilot gear. I'd love to see that, because I always remember that Rebel in the 3 3/4 inch line. the Twi'lek Rebel pilot, and she had that really interesting helmet so it could fit the Leku. Is it Leku?
Yeah.
The tendrils, yeah. That'll be really cool to see. Just to have something a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Rebel pilots are just such an untapped market.
Yeah.
It feels like we should have had more by now, but like you guys said, it's good that we haven't, because we've now reached the point where we've kind of plateaued a bit in terms of where sculpts are at, to be in the peak.
That's the thing, isn't it? At this stage, it's like, how do they possibly move on from what they're doing now in terms of quality? Like, it's...
Yeah.
I mean, I know we said this 10 years ago when Black Series very first came out. We were like, how do these figures get any better?
Yeah,
well, it's in 10 years' time, you'll see that it's definitely possible. In another 10 years, who knows how good these figures are going to be. But at the minute, they're pretty damn good. They're pretty close to perfection, give or take a few quabbles here and there. But, that for the most part, the articulation, the engineering at least, with regards to how the figures are put together is the best it's been. And just further to that Rebel pilot point, the Snowspeeder Luke figure that they did for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back is such a good figure.
Yeah.
It's such a good figure. So to get an X-Wing version of that would just be awesome. But again, further to that point, and on the subject of the Snowspeeder Luke, give us... We've had Dak, but give us Wes Jansen, give us Wedge in his Snowspeeder pilot outfit. Who else? Oh no! I've just thought of something. I've just thought of something, and now I'm terrified. Dan, I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Why are you nervous?
Because Dash Rendar has unofficially been announced. And what if they disappoint us and they just put a new head on a Luke Snowspeeder pilot body?
Yeah.
Because he flew a Snowspeeder at the Battle of Hoth. And what if they do that? What if they do that to us?
Don't do that to me. Don't do that. I don't think...
there are two chaps that aren't going to sleep tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't make this the nightmare situation where that's what we're going to get on stream on Tuesday. And here it is, Dash Rendar!
Oh dear.
Fuck!
That's what I says, then we're right. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong, I take it as a variant, but it's not my first choice.
Yeah.
So let's just, put an idea in the red. Oh dear. Oh no.
I don't think they'd stoop so low.
I would hope
but
not.
Then again...
For them to go to the effort of doing what they've done for Shizor and Luke in Disguise, I know that's a partial retool, but it's still mostly new.
Getting that Cody in hand, I don't mind that, knowing how it feels now. It's not directly your 3.0 body. There are a few different tolerances in there. So, for what they've reused, I think it'll make it look alright.
Yeah, definitely. I think we spoke about this in one of the in the stream where that set was revealed, and I think we all agreed that from an in-universe standpoint, it actually makes sense to reuse the parts that they've used, just because it shows that evolution and progression of the Imperial armor. We're only a few years removed from the use of clone trooper armor by the time of Shadows of the Empire in universe, even though it's non-canon now. So the fact that they'd still be using armor pieces from clones kind of makes sense. We're going off on a tangent though. We're moving away from the main man himself, Mr. Dutch Vander, and Rebel pilots in general. But yeah, stick it in the line. I'd definitely buy it. I would make one request though, and that's that he comes with a blaster pistol more along the lines of I always forget the technical name. Like Han Solo's blaster, is it a DL-44?
DL-44, yeah.
Yeah, give us something like that, rather than just a bog standard Rebel Trooper blaster.
Yeah,
just because we got that with Wedge, and wasn't really that. I wasn't all that enamoured by it. I like the idea of Rebel pilots coming with those smaller pistols.
Yeah.
So if you're going to throw, Yeah, so if you're going to throw an accessory in with this guy, give him that. Accessory-wise, I don't think there's anything else that he could come with. A targeting computer wouldn't make much sense without anything to attach to. So yeah, I think just stick a blaster pistol with him, removable helmet.
Yeah.
John Vander's your uncle.
Bosh.
I'm here for it. Sorted. Dan, that brings us to your first choice for episode 4, A New Hope.
Oh.
And I'm glad that you picked this one because it opened the floor up for me to pick something else, because I came so close to picking this because it is one of my favourite Imperial Trooper designs.
Yeah. I feel like someone should shout at me, boring, because it's a little bit boring. I get it. I can appreciate someone saying that, but I feel at this point we should have had it by now.
Yeah.
And a couple of these, I'd buy 2 of these because, you know, you want a couple to man that Death Star, the old laser. It's just such a cool design, such a cool Imperial design. They've technically got the parts for it because the chest piece is actually a Sandtrooper pauldron. I never realised that until.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old. Is it like an old 70s biker piece of kit or something for dirt biking?
Yeah, that's it. So it's basically a topsy turvy cut out Sandtrooper pauldron, which I always thought was quite funny.
Yeah.
I
don't know how that would translate in terms of retooling the part though, because it'd
for
be
sure.
Like
Yeah.
just point that a little bit.
Just stick it on.
Yeah. No, but like you said though, in terms of troop building, it's absolutely not a boring choice, because I remember when they did this in the Saga collection back in 2006, and they gave it the removable armor piece. I'm not sure how screen accurate that was. Now that you've said that this is just a recycled Sandtrooper pauldron, but it came with. It was almost like a Stormtrooper chest piece.
Yeah.
And it was removable, so you could have alternate looks for it.
That's cool.
Because I'm pretty sure that this guy appears in different forms in episode 4 and 6.
Yeah.
And I forget which way around it is, but in one they're armoured, in the other they've just got the overalls, like the generic uniform. So there's an opportunity there to army build the figure for sure, but also include a removable chest piece that you can swap out
Mix and match it,
and diversify your ranks, sort of thing. It's like you said, it's one of those figures that absolutely, like, I would have, if it was me, I understand they did it for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, but I would have put this figure out before the Death Star Trooper, just because for my money, this is the more interesting looking design.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely eat this up.
Something that would be cool as well is if we're thinking about reuse for the mould. Pretty sure that helmet's similar to the Jyn Erso helmet from, you know, the sort of guidance.
It's the landing platform person. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, ground crew.
That's it.
Because I was always surprised they never did that. I know I'm talking a bit off topic here, but it always surprised me they never did that one for Rogue One, even though we got it in 3 3/4 inch. I really like this design. I think what would be even cooler, and a bit of a controversial opinion maybe, don't include a blaster with it.
Ooh.
Give it a diorama piece, so you can have him manning the Death. Yeah, like a little console. Because little bits like that just add something different to your display.
Yeah. Jet's one step ahead of you.
Yeah.
Needs a set piece, either a computer terminal or the laser cannon. The laser cannon, in fact, it's to hand. Fantastic. Not quite the same, and I don't know how practical this would be, but both. Look at that.
Yeah.
Do that. Do something similar to
job,
that.
won't it?
Absolutely. And you know what? this is sort of like relevant to the Power of the Force 2 stream that we're going to be doing in a few weeks' time, because we're going to be talking during that stream, we're going to be talking about unproduced Star Wars toys. That's all I'm going to say on that one. If you know, you know, but it's a good little tidbit of information that
Don't do you learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a big scale in 3 3/4 inch, that'd absolutely work. I'd love to see that. Very similar to how, because they did the sail barge cannon, didn't they, years ago with Leia?
That's where I've got in my mind. When you've just said unproduced toys, I'm like, I fucking thought this. I'm sure they did something like that, but that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. But yeah, do that in Black Series as well. Oh, baby,
so cool.
let's have a cannon subline and throw out the clone trooper, the Republic artillery cannon from the sides of the Republic cruisers that we see in Episode 3.
Yeah,
stick a Phase 2 clone trooper in with that. Let's just have a small run of cannons in the Black Series. I'm here for that. Absolutely. But yeah, like you said, it's one of those figures. It's criminal it's not being made, but hopefully, if and when it does get made, it will be the best it could be.
Yeah.
And like you said, multifaceted, because it'll fit in your Rogue One collection, it'll fit in your Imperial Army display, your Episode 4 display, your Return of the Jedi setup. Like, it's a really cool army builder.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure there are similar looking ones in the Final Order as well, just with red helmets that have got more of a flare out to the back.
Oh yeah.
So maybe a little retool there, maybe.
Absolutely. There's so many things that they could do with. There's quite there's a fair amount of Imperial troopers that they've not actually even scratched the surface of yet. In terms of variants and different appearances and stuff. So, but this one's definitely at the top of my list. Like I said, Dan, I'm glad that you picked it, because I was very, very close to making a case for it myself. So yeah, I'd absolutely love to see this in the Black Series. I think it's one of those as well, because you can visualize how it's going to look as part of your shelf. So I'm already looking at this and thinking the helmet's going to have this really nice gloss finish to it. The overalls underneath are going to have a nice matte black finish.
Yeah,
the chest armor will have a nice gloss touch to it, and it's like, you can just piece it together.
It's just such a nice costume, because it has so many, like you said, loads of different sort of textures to it, like gloss, matte. Oh, it just looked mint. And like,
if you did have to put a blaster with it though, because chances are, if this one does get done, it's getting put out in the basic line.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because these guys appear in various video games as well. Like they pop up as the Imperial Engineers in the OG Battlefront.
Yeah.
So they obviously run stick a fusion cutter in with it, throw it back.
Oh yeah.
Throw it back.
To be fair, you could just include a bunch of accessories with it. I'd be down for like like they did with Power of the Force. The Stormtrooper with like the weapons rack.
Yeah.
Do that. Just give him like a load of different Imperial weapons that are on a weapons rack, and I'd be happy as a pig in shit, Because you could then mix and match it, even if you don't want to display them with those weapons, you can give them to someone else. Yeah.
Yeah, Harry says just give it an E11 and call it a day. I agree with that, but I've got visions somewhere, and I don't remember what media it was from, but I'm pretty sure, like, just going back to what we were saying with Dutch Vander, pretty sure these guys use the Rebel Blasters.
The Rebel Blasters,
yeah. So I wouldn't be mad to see that included. An E11 obviously makes sense from a pure, just it's an Imperial standpoint. I'm pretty sure the Death Star troopers use the Rebel Blasters as well.
I was going to say the Rebel Blaster. It is actually an Imperial weapon. I think it's just fallen into what's the fucking phrase for it? When people remember things for being something and it turns out they're completely different.
Oh, Mandela effect.
That's the one. It's one of them.
Yeah,
it's one of them. The guards, the prison guards on Nakina 5 have also got them.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harry's just mentioned.
But
Yeah, that's where I've seen it. The TVC one came with a Rebel blaster,
Yeah.
and the
I
Hot
don't
Toys
want an
one.
E11. I'm fucking sick of E11s. Anyone else feel like that? Every bastard comes with an E11. Fuck them all.
Yeah.
Use your
Yeah.
imagination a bit.
And you know for a fact that it'd come with an E11 that's got the little
The fucking
attack.
torch on the side, yeah.
Yeah. It's like they weren't in A New Hope. Stop putting them with everything. I know you did it for Rogue One, but let's move on.
It's original trilogy.
Nah, like
What
I
we
said,
have become.
the very thing we swore to destroy. Nah, I'm here for it, mate. I really am. I absolutely want this 100%. And if it wasn't your pick for episode 4, it would have been mine. So that does lead us into my pick, which I have been. Like I said, this has been the most fun stream to put together because it's allowed me to get a little bit creative with my picks. But there's one, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna cheat, and I don't care because I didn't actually pick it. So, but I want my original choice. I wanted to pick Garrington. All right, Long Snoot, the Imperial Spy from episode 4, just because that's the character from that movie that I want to see made the most in the Black Series. I want that figure. It's one of my favourite Power of the Force 2 figures. It's such a cool design. But I'm pretty sure at some point it's going to get made. I feel it in my water that at some point that figure's going to come. Just like a brand new Sand Trooper's going to come. So that's why I didn't pick that one either, even though I wanted to. So I've gone left field, and that's what I've tried to do throughout this stream with the choices that I've made. So my pick is a recreation of a figure that was released in the Legacy Collection back in, I think, sort of 2008, 2009, and it was during a time when Hasbro were really giving us bang for our buck, and in a lot of instances, you know, with smaller characters giving us 2 figures in one pack. Now, this would have to be a deluxe, in the same way that Max Rebo would have to be in an absolutely massive box, and probably in the same way that they'll never make FX7 again because it would just be too damn expensive. My choice is the Jawa and the WED Treadwell droid. Now, I know there's absolutely no one sat watching this stream going, I fucking hope he picks that WED Treadwell droid. Out of all the characters from the original trilogy, I really hope that we get a WED Treadwell droid at some point. But can you imagine? Like, we've been talking about droids and how underrepresented they are in the Black Series, and this, like the FX7 we were talking about earlier, holds up as an absolutely fantastic 3 3/4 inch figure, and I'd be buzzing to see it reissued in TVC. But imagine this is a Black Series Deluxe set with a brand new Jawa, because we were talking about this last night, weren't we, Dan? Like, in terms of, because I think worst case scenario, we'd get the Treadwell droid, it'd be limited in articulation, and the Jawa would be a simple repack with maybe a new weapon and a bit of new paint, maybe at a stretch, a new bandolier. For me, I would love to see this as like as a completely newly tooled Jawa, soft goods robes, separately sculpted bandolier. You know, just give us a completely brand new Jawa. Because I'm not. It might be a controversial opinion, but I'm not a massive fan of that Black Series Jawa figure.
Thank you. That fucking thing can't even hold his blaster properly.
This is it, and it's a bugger to stand up. Now, be it the original trilogy Jawa, Tika, I'm just not a fan. I just don't like it. I don't think it's a good figure by today's standards. It was fine when it came out, but I'm not here for it now. So for me, I'd sculpt a body with no robes and then just stick, because they're doing some amazing work with soft goods at the minute.
Yeah,
Hasbro
definitely.
smashing it with capes. They're smashing it with Jedi robes, and so the vision that I've got in my head for this one is using a material very similar to the robes that they used with Shin and Balin. Give them that thinner.
Yeah, I know the kind you're on about. I haven't got them, but I know what you mean.
It's a thinner, more scraggy looking material, and I think in terms of how it'd flow over over a Jawa, it just looks so good.
Yeah.
So do that. Just give us a brand newly sculpted Jawa, and then, like I said, go to town on the Treadwell droid and articulate it at the base so it can turn. Give it all the hinges in the arms. Like I said, stick it in a deluxe pack because this is something that would warrant that higher price point. And yeah, just get us some droids out there, man. There's so many from that purchase of the droid scene that I'd love to see, like an R1 unit. I think Sea Lions mentioned that in the comments. The Gonk droid, like you said, Dan. The LIN droid that also made it into the 3 3/4 inch line back in the day, which was literally just a dome on tracks. Like, all those really weird droids. Do you know what I mean? Like, just get them out there and give us that, like, because this is the thing with Black Series. It's great for... They're dipping the toe into it a little bit more now, but Black Series is great for core characters. But the glup shitters and the blinking you'll miss 'ems and the seldom scenes, you don't really tend to get them much in Black Series. So this, RA7, for example, like, there's just an untapped well of, like we were saying, droid figures that could be made. But I just think, like I said, I tried to come up with something a little bit different that, I don't think there's any point in putting a wish list together when you know full well that the figures are going to get made at some point. And that's why I love these streams, because I don't think Dutch Vander's on Hasbro's radar anytime soon, James. No offense. I don't think Max Rebo, as popular as he is going to come to Black Series anytime soon. But so I thought, well, do you know what? If they're not even entertaining the options of making these characters, why don't we make cases for them instead? So I think this would just be absolutely awesome to see. I think presentation wise, in a box, it'd look cool. And then, like I said, on shelf, it'd just look fantastic and just add something a little bit different to the setup. So, like I said, they've done it once, so it's not completely out of the realm of possibility, but it's probably unlikely it's ever going to get done. But I'd love to see this. And like I said, just with a brand new Jawa, I think that's the biggest takeaway for this one for me, is that I want to see a brand new Jawa figure. And again, me and Dan were talking last night, and we were saying, the Jawas that they released back in the Power of the Force 2 line, they did the 2-pack where the figures were different from one another. They retooled the larger Jawa of the two for the Gonk Droid 2-pack. So just do something like that. It doesn't have to be a completely new figure, but just retool it enough so that it looks... Because that's the thing with Tika. Yeah, it's a new Jawa, but...
It's just put a vest on.
But it's Malibu Stacy with a new hat. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't look different enough to the other one, and it's like, for a brand new character, it should be different, and that's what I want to see with this. I think it's time. When was that first Jawa released? It's got to be 2017.
Yeah, that's the one.
So heading up like eight years ago. So I think, given what they're again going back to what we were saying earlier, like in terms of what they're doing with the Black Series and the quality that those figures have reached, the quality of the soft goods as well. That's what I want to see for this one: is soft goods robes, brand new articulation, brand new sculpt, new accessories, and if you stick a WED in there as well, then absolute bonus. Bonus.
I've got a question though.
Shoot.
Right? Okay, so would you want, and this I'm going somewhere with this, would you want the head to be articulated on the Jawa?
Yeah, I'd say so, because like I said, if it was me and I was engineering the figure, I'm not a toy designer by any means, but
sure.
if what I was going to do, I would, like I said, I'd have the head and the body completely unrobed. It'd literally just be a little bandaged man with two light up eyes. That's all it'd be. The base of the figure, that's all it would be. It'd just be a head and a body covered in black robes, and then the soft goods would be an overlay with the bandolier thrown on top. So the head would be able to move independently of the hood, because it'd be inside the soft goods. Why? What are you thinking?
Do you want me to counter that?
Go on.
Because we've got the Holocom collection, haven't we?
Mm.
Fuck that. Give the Jawa light up eyes.
Yeah, someone's mentioned that in the comments.
What? Yeah, I
piping.
noticed it. Either light piping or actually light up system in the eyes potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Bit gimmicky, I admit. But if you're gonna deluxify it,
Yeah.
why not? Why
Do you know
not?
what? Do you know what? Yeah. I think in terms of adding electronics, it's probably that's never going to
No,
happen.
it's not going to happen.
But to that argument, there's probably a case for doing it so that the body is sort of a static piece.
Yeah.
Articulate, the arms would be able to articulate, but the body itself and the legs would be a static piece. But throw a battery pack in there. Like you said, maybe don't articulate the head, and put the lights in there. Absolutely, I'd love to see that. But
just as a funky little thing, you know.
Yeah, but I think that might be giving Hasbro a little bit too much credit, and that might be jacking the price up a little bit too much. So what should be, in my mind, a 35, 40 quid figure would end up bumped to a sort of a 50 quid price point. And whether or not I'd want to pay that, I'm not entirely sure. But like I said, biggest takeaway for me is just get that Jawa resculpted and give it soft goods.
Yeah,
I think,
for sure.
like I said, the material and that was the biggest sort of source of inspiration for this one, was that they've made the figure in the past, but the material that came with those soft goods on Balin and Shin, I was like, this is really good quality material. The flow and the drape on it is so nice, and I was like, this would work really well for a Jawa.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah, brand new Jawa. Please and thank you. That concludes episode 4. So we move on throughout the trilogy, and let's head into The Empire Strikes Back. And I think I mentioned in the last stream, because I picked up his Power of the Force 2 figure, that this was the most boring figure ever made. But I think there's a case for him in the Black Series, James. So
it might be a boring case. I remember this one.
I'm willing to hear you out.
Yeah.
My basis for this, right, is the way I've got. You guys have seen my collection. You know, I set it up in order of events and chronological. Love it. There's fuck all for Bespin.
Yeah,
true.
Really
there's
is.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
So, I think, as boring as it might be, I'd class him in the same pool as Bespin God. You know, that might look a little better, but it's just like they're just people. They stand there, they do nothing. This guy just, fucking says fuck all, wakes up and just jumps a bunch of stormtroopers one afternoon,
and then gives it some
some mighty bold hand movements.
Yeah, he goes to the discotheque.
he stands there in the background and just looks like he means business to a certain extent. It's almost like, where if you took Mr. Bean and erased all of the things that made him Mr. Bean and stood him in the background of a Star Wars movie.
Do you know what? For the longest
I want
time,
that on my shelf.
For the longest time, I thought Patrick Stewart played Lobot. not as an adult man, but as a kid, I was like, that's Captain Picard. That is.
We don't hawk Trek here.
Fair. No, I think I know. I said it's such it is ironically boring.
Yeah.
But
I won't argue otherwise.
Yeah.
I just want something to stand on that shelf behind Lando, behind the Bespin Escape Chewie.
Yeah. It's ironically boring, but it'd be so cool as a Black Series figure. And I think with this one, I think you approach it in the same way that that Hasbro have done the vintage collection Hammerhead, in that don't deluxe it by any stretch because it doesn't justify it. It doesn't warrant it. But they've drawn that inspiration from, and again, we're going to hammer it until the cows come home. Power of the Force 2. Draw some inspiration from that and jive it up a little bit, and include some accessories that it might not necessarily have been seen within the movie, but would add that little bit of extra depth to him as a figure on your shelf. Like sculpt wise, again, envisioning what this figure would look like on a shelf, like peak, it'd look amazing in terms of the sculpt and the how the sleeves and the trousers and stuff would bellow and the sculpted detail in there. All the technical detail in the headpiece would look fantastic as well. And I bet the likeness would be absolutely bob on. But yeah, in terms of like just giving it that action figure aspect, like throwing some
Give him a
accessories.
Z6 rotary cannon and you've got him on his fucking day off.
Absolutely. Give him a mop, so he can clean the floors, like buzzing. But no, a simple blaster pistol, a data pad.
Yeah.
I give the Power of the Force 2 Lobot figure some serious grief for being boring, but at least he comes with a gun. The version that they did in the OTC line in sort of 2004, my God, I can't imagine anyone walking into a store and going, "Holy hell, look at how cool that looks!"
What are you talking about? He's ready for the disco dancing.
No, that one is 100%. But like I said, that original Trilogy collection figure they did, which is literally just a static figure that's just.
He's definitely one of them useless cunts in Lego Star Wars that you just constantly beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Just freaking smash him up. 20 different times just for the fun of it.
Absolutely. That's fair. Luke's just throwing it into the chat. Pardon's begged for bringing up a New Hope picks now. Doesn't matter, mate. We're talking about it all night. However, the Jawas having light up eyes feels much more like something Hot Toys would do rather than Hasbro. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. David has said, justice for Lobot. I'm surprised he's not kicking off that none of us have picked Bespin Gown Leia, but here we are. If he didn't free Leia and Chewie, everyone Rebel would be dead. End of. No Jabba's palace, no Endo, no rebellion victory. This is it. We owe the saga to Lobot.
There you go.
There
you go. Savior.
There he is. Yeah, I remember that one, Harry. He got quietly released in the Vintage Collection in 2022.
Yeah, I thought it was.
A really weathered E11, yeah. He's right.
But as all the Vintage Collection fans had been, we needed him for the Bespin diorama. Black Series have got no business having a character like that because they haven't even got the building to put him in.
There you go. Further to my point, lads, when we were talking about the E11s, just to get on that screen accuracy high horse, the fuck is that? Hang on. Look, why has it got the frigging torch? Why has it got the torch?
The fucking clowns.
Idiots. Freaking idiots. But yeah, there's the old vintage boy. Boring as holy hell, and that's why I only paid £4 for him when he went on clearance in Smith's. But
what a bargain.
But imagine that in Black Series.
That'd
look really, yeah, for sure. It'd look really, really cool. And I am an advocate. I am here for that pick, mate. So, yeah, absolutely. Let's have Lobot. Why the fuck not?
Yeah, boy.
It's no bot or low bot, and I think I know which one Hasbro are going to fucking choose, but I picked it anyway.
Well, there you go. This is it. It's fan fiction. It's fan figure fiction. Figure fan fiction on this stream. Yeah, episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Dan, your pick is...
Go on. Oh.
There are so many uncharted figures.
Yes! He's as clumsy as he is stupid. Admiral Azul. I really thought when they did Captain Needa back in the day, that we were gonna hit this guy were a given. Like, I thought that they were gonna literally just recycle that mold and give us all the. They didn't. They didn't give us all the Imperial officers that we could get, and there's plenty that we could have. But I think the next one they need to do is Admiral Ozzel for sure, because it's just an idiot. He's an idiot. You know, he's like, you know what? I'm not messed about here. I'm going to rush to the planet and start the assault now. Let's crack on, lads. He just pisses off his boss. And that's if you could get him to do that choking thing, like, alternative head sculpt.
Well, Dan, to that point, and this is really handy that I've got all these figures to hand. I'm not going to lie. You're saying about Captain Needa being released, which was, I think, Legacy Collection 2008.
Yeah. When
that figure came out. And that was, at the time at least, like the definitive Imperial officer body. Because I remember prior to that, we'd had figures like, we'd had General Veers in the Saga Collection, which is, to this day, still a fantastic figure with the removable attack commander armor and stuff. Yeah. We had Moff Gerard as well in that line. And then, like I said, when Legacy Collection came about, Captain Needa got a brand new sculpt. But I don't know if you know, we have actually had an Admiral Ozzel figure.
Oh, no, what I meant was in Black Series, sorry.
Oh, fair. All right.
Yeah, no, sorry, I knew before, but yeah.
No, I was going to say, because with you saying about Captain Needa, because that was, like I said, Legacy Collection.
I meant Piet, sorry.
Oh,
my bad.
Right,
that's me. I've thrown everyone off with my... Yeah, no, that's it's not Needa, it's Piet, wasn't it? Yeah. We got Captain Piet in Black Series, didn't we? That's right, I'll reiterate that. The fact that we got Captain Piet... And I always thought we were going to get more Imperial officers in Black Series after that, because we got General Veers, and then it's like, oh, well, surely we're going to get Ozzel. We're going to get, all the others. But we didn't. Yeah. Even Motti, I would have loved to have seen Admiral Motti, and he was quite a close choice for me.
Well, this is the thing, and this is what I'm getting to. Like, I mean, Sea Lions brought it up in the comments. Remember the 2004 Ozzel figure with his arm proposed to hold his throat while he's being strangled to death?
Yeah.
They did that so much with Imperial officer figures. The original the original and only Admiral Motti figure that we... Oh, no, sorry, not only anymore, because we got him in the Army Builder pack. But the original Admiral Motti figure from, lo and behold, Power of the fucking Force, came with the choking action. And that's why I thought, when you were saying about Needa, and I thought, he means the Legacy Collection version, I thought, I wonder if he knows there's a 3 3/4 inch Ozzel figure out there.
Yeah.
And even though I don't have Ozzel, I found it very, very weird that figure, like Sea Lion said, it was sculpted so that the articulation in the arm allowed you to clutch the throat. And I found it really, really weird that moving forward a couple of years from the original Trilogy collection, that when the 30th anniversary line came about and we got the comic pack line, little throwback for you, but we got a Luke Skywalker in Imperial officer disguise.
We did,
and for some bizarre reason, Hasbro thought, well, the best Imperial officer figure to use as a base mold for that figure is Admiral Ozzel. So here he is. Here is Luke Skywalker in Imperial officer disguise. I'm doing your trick, James. Getting choked out. Like...
Or is he clearing his throat and he's getting ready to swing? Hold on a minute. I need to...
Major fucking robot chicken vibes with that.
Yeah.
Throwing on a moustache. I mean, General Hawkins over here, he's been killed 100 times.
But pardon my ignorance. I mean, I didn't read the comic that these figures came with. But was there a scene in that comic where Luke gets choked? Because I don't remember it. And I just thought, I remember this coming out at the time and thinking, why the hell did they release this figure using this sculpt? It's so bizarre. Yeah. And it just didn't make much sense to me, but
I fucking love that screenshot.
It's so good, isn't it? I was like, obviously, I threw him into the intro, and I thought, I could have just used his portrait and just chucked him in, as normal. But then I thought, no, you've got to show him in his iconic scene. And I think in this instance, it's just seeing Pierce's face. He's like,
it's comedy gold, isn't it?
It's
like,
so good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. Isn't he the same actor that played Hitler in The Last Crusade?
He is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure you'd want to make a custom of that figure, but I suppose Indiana Jones fans might get behind this one as well.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Especially from a likeness standpoint. But that just goes to show the extent of the range of that actor, though, because like it wasn't until somebody pointed it out to me that I was like, oh yeah, actually, I can see that it's the same guy. But in Last Crusade, that scene is actually quite daunting. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, he's got that down to it. Probably not the thing you want to brag about, but he's got Hitler down to a T in that movie. In this, it's just like he's just a buffoon. Yeah, he's a muppet, but he's also Adolf Hitler. So it's just so it's bizarre. But no,
he played Adolf Hitler in another film as well, completely unrelated. So he must have something officer-like going for him.
Yeah.
As far as range, I mean, it's not the typecasting that you want in the industry, is it? But I suppose
not really. No.
At different times, pennies were harder to get.
Yeah. Like walking into a casting room and, do you know who you'd be really good at playing? Do you know who you remind me of? Adolf Hitler.
You look like a Nazi. You've got the part.
No, but from an action figure standpoint, it falls into the same category as Dutch Vander.
Yeah,
like Imperial officers are reasonably well represented in the Black Series, but it never hurts to get another one. And like you say, if you're gonna get one out there, give us one of the more iconic ones. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want him like that on my shelf. That'd be great.
Give him interchangeable heads. Interchangeable heads.
Yeah, there we go. Michael Shardow's also in loads of classic Doctor Who episodes. Yeah,
yes, he is. Remembrance of the Daleks, Sylvester McCoy. He was the one brainwashed head teacher at the school. But you didn't know I fucking knew that one.
I do now.
You're welcome.
Yep. I didn't know he was in.
Fucking taking the lid off the jar there, mate.
In Grange Hill as well. Pretty prolific actor then by all accounts. Happy days. There you go. Grange Hill, my childhood. We've got some OGs in the chat. Christ. Bloody hell. Happy days. Jets off. See you later, mate. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you can catch the replay later on. That brings us to my episode 5 pick then, I believe. Like I said, there's a pattern emerging, but I'm all for getting more of these characters into the line. So my choice from Empire Strikes Back is another droid, and it's 21B. I think Dave mentioned when we were talking about FX7. 21B is obviously, if you're going to get FX7, you need to get 21B. Likewise, if you get 21B, it'd be ideal to get FX7. But this is a figure or a character that's just another one of those. For me, it's one of my favourite Power of the Force 2 figures. To this day, I think from a sculpt standpoint, that figure still holds up. The later one we got based on Revenge of the Sith is good, but too small. So, Black Series 6-inch, brand new sculpt, Empire Strikes Back appearance. Let's have this. And you know what? I'd even go the extra mile, and I would give this I don't think it's a deleted scene, but I think it's just a bit of production trivia going on with this one, where initially on set you don't see his lower half, and so I'm sure I remember reading or seeing somewhere that he's got like just a static lower half that almost looks like a dress, which actually ended up making an appearance in the Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 video game, when you bump into 21B or medical droid characters in that game. They're wearing the skirt, so it's like the upper body of a medical droid, but they've got a skirt on. And then I think it's not until I think it might be one of the visual dictionaries they did for the original trilogy, and they were like, well, this looks a bit dumb, so let's just like give him some legs so that we can photograph a full body shot of the figure. So that's where I don't know whether the Power of the Force 2 figure served as inspiration for the actual prop, or whether the prop served as inspiration for the Power of the Force 2 figure. But whichever way around it was, initially this figure didn't have a lower half, or at least one that was, or at least one that was
apron, Steve.
Yeah, or at least the lower half that was exciting to look at. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Rub the Monday. So
I like legs; they're my favourite part.
Said Darth Maul.
yeah. But I think it's another one of those. It's another one of those droids that's long overdue. It's a really, really interesting character design. It's got sort of. I'll be honest. If this guy was treating me, I'd be frightened because he's not. He's not looking at him. I mean, voice wise, yeah, he's got the bedside manner. But if that came strolling into your ward, you wouldn't be buzzing, would you? You'd be a bit like. Oh,
it feels like they'd used a horror prop. Like I know that Star Wars used a lot of like horror props in A New Hope to like create the aliens and things. But this feels like something like that was made for a horror film, and they just thought, you know what, we need to brighten this up a bit. Give it baby blue. Go on,
yeah.
Make him a bit more friendlier.
It's the mask,
Give him
isn't
a
it? It's
gentleman's voice.
Yeah.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of one of those. Quite ironic, actually. One of those medical masks that are used to like sort of take molds or not like they're used in radiotherapy. You know, when you're having radiotherapy and you have the mask to shield your parts of your face that don't want to get smacked with radioactive rays. It reminds me of one of those. I wonder if something like that was repurposed for the prop. I'm not sure. I'd have to have a look into it, but purely from an aesthetic standpoint, it's like, you know, it's a figure that we need. It's a figure that would look amazing on the shelf. It's just such a cool design, and I think it speaks for itself as an action figure. Like I said, accessory wise, there's tons you could pack with it. I think the Power of the Force 2 figure comes with a little sort of like data pad type thing. The original Kenner figure from back in '83 came with a staff, or in Dave's case, an anal probe. Again, don't know what you're up to, mate, but all the best with it. So yeah, I just think there's different things you could do with it, but just like I don't think accessory wise it doesn't need to come with anything. The figure on its own would just suffice because it's just a cool design. So I don't really need to speak to this one very much because it does speak for itself. It's one of those characters like Empire Strikes Back. I think because it is so focused on the main characters.
Yeah,
you sometimes tend to forget about some of the other background characters and some of the glup shitters because it is just so purely focused on what the main cast are doing. You don't really tend to pay much attention to what's going on in the background, but this is one of those figures. It's like, yeah, you'd need. That's the one. If you're going to make it for me, if you're going to make one figure from Empire Strikes Back, it's got to be this one.
It's pretty iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one for the diorama people as well, for action figure photographers. You could just chuck this guy in the background of any battle.
Yep. Or,
I mean,
as Sea-Lion said, James, you could put it in your Clone Wars display.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the Twilight. That's exactly what I was thinking. In fact, I think I sent you this as one of my picks, Steve, forgetting that you'd already fucking picked it like months ago when we were planning these. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like, they could even do a holocron one because he first appears as a hologram in the Clone Wars before they get a proper one.
Yeah, he does. Doesn't he have a different arm as well, where it's like or am I imagining that?
I think it's the Revenge of the Sith one, isn't it? That comes with like he's got rods like pincers for arms rather than the claws.
Yeah.
But yeah, iconic character design, like Dave said as well. He's been in Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, Bad Batch, and Clone Wars.
Ahsoka as well, and the Clone Wars flashback. That's what made me think of it. To be fair, one of the photos that Mr. Stormtrooper Davis took from, sort of inspired by the Ahsoka scene. I thought, oh, you could just get one of them and whack it on. That'd look good.
Yeah, absolutely. Like C-Line said as well, I'm again not sure on the realistic chances of that happening, but a back to tank.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think this is one of the cases that we'll make till the cows come home for Black Series is just upscale what has already been done in 3 3/4 inch. Just bring it to life in 6 inches, and the majority of us would be very, very happy.
We don't need a super articulated Luke in a nappy, do we? Let's be honest. So.
No, this is it. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the original Power of the Jedi figure of Luke in the back to tank is just a static piece, and it's just
that motherfucker peg warmed in every TK Maxx around me for about 15 fucking years.
And now it goes for some stupid money.
I fucking bet it does.
It can fetch a fair bit. I mean, I've got one down in my collection. I've actually got a bit because I know they did it with. It had a little straw in the top so that you could blow bubbles into it. You could fill it with water and blow bubbles into it.
Fucking hell.
And they get really mouldy as well, don't they, from what I've heard?
They do, because I've got mine on display. Get this right. And I don't know why I've gone to this length, because the part of my Empire Strikes Back display where this one is actually hidden, so you can't see it anyway, because it's behind my chair. But I've filled... And I change it on a regular basis. It's like cleaning out my fucking fish tank. I've filled it with water, and I've popped a little bit of blue food colouring in it, so that it's like I don't know whether I haven't checked it in a while, so I don't know whether it's stained the figure. But yes, Dan, to your point, it does get very mouldy, and that's probably why I've got the cough that I've got at the minute. So yeah. But no, it's just they don't make them like they used to. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, I know, but no, 2-1B is a must for me. It's definitely like when I think of Empire Strikes Back, we have had minimal figures from that movie in Black Series form. To be fair, when I look at my Black Series display, my Empire shelf is probably one of the lighter ones. So I think. Just get that shelf populated, get some more characters out there, but the one that I'd go for first would be 2-1B.
Yeah.
And then Lobot, a very, very close second, mate.
Yeah.
So
it's alright, you can say he's at the bottom of your fucking list. I'm not bothered.
No, he's not, mate. He's not. He's actually not. Because this is the thing, it's like I said, I didn't actually think about it until I said it, but I was like, you know what? Empire Strikes Back is so focused on the main cast of characters that you do forget about all the guys trotting about in the background. I think for me, top 3 choices for Empire: 2-1B, Lobot, and the Ugnaughts.
Yeah.
And I'd want the Ugnaughts done in the same sort of vein as the Power of the Force 2 ones, or the Legacy Collection one, where you got that bang for your buck. So you either got them in a 2-pack, or like the Legacy Collection one, you got 2 variants, and each came with a console, or like droid parts or something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really cool. So there are characters there, but it's just so hard to think of them, because it's like when you think of Empire, you think, what's Han getting up to? What's Lando getting up to? What's Leia getting up to? Best being Gown, obviously. But
on the topic of Imperial officers. I would also like the. I don't know I'm sure they've given a name to that Imperial officer, but I would like the one that Jeremy Bulloch played for that short scene.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a nice background one to have.
Yeah,
definitely. Nice little tribute again, like you said as well, in terms of paying homage to those that aren't with us anymore.
If we're going to mention that as well as a cheeky little slide in, Ralph McQuarrie.
Yes, General McQuarrie.
How did we miss that, eh?
Yeah, that was one that, shit.
There we go, James. Lieutenant Sheckle.
There we are.
Harry's on fire with the knowledge tonight. I'm just going to point that out. Like Dave said, I mean, we were talking about this when we were talking about Tom's Customs earlier, but K3PO, Hoth Rebel Commander. This is the thing as well. I think a lot of the times it's hard to think outside the box with Empire, because like there's such large portions of the movie dedicated to one specific scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it's not from Hoth, it's from Bespin. If it's not from Bespin, it's from Hoth. So your choices are somewhat limited. But moving on throughout the saga to the final chapter in the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi, and this is where it does get a little bit more creative because the glup shittos are strong with this movie. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm just looking through the list, the majority of these come from the same scene. So, James, take it away with your first one, mate.
There we
Have
go.
it.
It's got to be done, hasn't it? We've got to start somewhere. I mean, you already mentioned Max Rebo, but it's Return it's Return of the Jedi's version of the Cantina scene in Episode 4.
Yeah.
So I believe it requires the same amount of action figure loving, and we need that display on the shelf.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't got a structural version of Jabba's palace, but you've released him enough times already with little bits that you can build them up as a diorama. It would work. All she needs is that microphone and maybe a blaster, just for the Clone Wars part.
Yeah.
Got to have that to go with the Zero the Hutt figure that I don't fucking have. But what aliens and Star Wars is so fucking weird, so obscure, and it just Luke the part on the shelf.
It's something so different, isn't it? It's something that it's just completely
bizarre.
There's no words for it.
No.
There's no words for it.
It always reminds me of Monsters Inc. when they use that big machine and suck people's lips. That's what comes to mind.
Right, T-Line says, I've always wondered why she wears a skirt but no shirt. Well, T-Line, mate, if that movie teaches us anything, it's that Jabba the Hutt was a massive perv. So and had a penchant for skimpy clothing. So maybe
and all the sizes
breasted
as well.
Lady that walks around in his palace. I mean, do you need to say any more?
Exactly, the dirty diddler. But yeah, it's like I said, it's another one of those figures and characters that just speaks for itself. It's an alien. It's fucking weird. I'd go as far as to say that I'd love to see it in Black Series, but it'd be one of those where if they released it and then it took either years for the rest of the band or we never got the rest of the band, it'd itch my brain and it'd wind me up. But
bittersweet, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. But I am absolutely in the camp of this needs to be in TVC.
Yeah,
I would advocate more for this as a TVC release than a Black Series release, purely because we have the Jabba's Palace playset, and that came out, and hardly any figures followed it to populate it. And I think you can make the argument that they've released a ton of Jabba's Palace characters in the past, but they're not readily available for people to populate their dioramas and playsets now, so we need them back out in circulation again. And like we were saying with Max Rebirth, these figures haven't had updates in over 30 years, almost 30 years, should I say. And so if you're going to do it, Hasbro are pumping all this love. I know it's Return to Tatooine for Episode 4, but the sentiment still stands. Churn it out and extend it to Return of the Jedi as well, and give us the Max Rebo band. Because in TVC, I would absolutely lap it up. I would be so here for it. It'd be an instant pre-order. Like I said, do it in that original style of the 3-pack with Droopy McCool as well. Oh,
absolutely.
Oh,
did that 3-pack originally come out in the old fucking black and green box style? Is that, or am I remembering wrong?
What's that? Sorry.
Did the original 3-pack and 3 3/4, did that come out in the Power of the Force green and black box style, or was it a different format of the packaging?
It was weird. It was like a Return. It was purely just Return of the Jedi. It was like your standard black box. It was like one of the special action figure sets with the windows inside it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll have to try and source an
I was
image
going
of
to
it.
say, I'm sure I've seen it, but I've just got that many things going around my head. But when they did the Celebration exclusive plush set, that was in green and black, but because that was the colour of Celebration Europe for 2023. So it just made me think they could do it in a similar style box to how they did the Cantina pack with Obi-Wan and Dr. Evson and Ponda Baba. I know that was invocative of an actual older set, but I think it kind of
I think it was
weirdly.
It was inspired, that packaging for the plush set was inspired by the original Kenner set, but it wasn't identical. I don't have an image to hand of it, but I should have got one for this stream. But it was like a special action figure set, but without the elongated card back, and like I said, they were in their own individual blisters and all that sort of stuff. It's a really nicely put together set, to be fair. And like I said, I'm pretty sure Gentle Giant recreated it for their Jumbo line. Yeah. So in Black Series or TVC, it'd make it absolutely.
I see what it's like. It's almost like those Order 66 packs of a Jedi and a clone, but in a different shape. If is this even the one that you're on about? It's not getting. Yeah.
Oh, that's the 30th anniversary collection.
That works, don't it? Something like that.
Yeah, they're the.
I see. You're the Return of the Jedi one now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like fucking some sort of bootleg toys that you'd see at a fucking car boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, something like that.
Yeah,
they could do them like that for Black Series as exclusive packs or whatever.
Can you get to an image of the original Kenner set?
Yeah, hold on.
From '83, because that's the packaging I've got in mind for it. I know I've got no sentimental. That's the one.
Is that it?
Yeah. I've got no emotional connection to that set, but I just think that box just looks fucking cool. I mean, for me, if you put a gun to my head, I would absolutely pick the Power of the Force 2 boxes. But
you wouldn't have to put a gun to your head, mate.
Well, no, this is it. But that no. I mean, my first choice would be that 3-pack box set with the organ, the 3 figures, the original vintage packaging. I think that'd look superb. Like I said, updated and modernized in Black Series or TVC. That'd just look so cool. So maybe one day. Hope they're listening. That brings us down to you, and in fact, I've been have I been giving it to you, or I've forgotten the running order of it again. Was it you?
James,
was it you after James?
Yeah.
There we go. Sound.
So
before we do that, though, I'm just going to throw it to the comments, because the comments are on fire with character with character suggestions. David is just read my mind. Weequay, yes. Klaatu, yes. Barada, yes. R2 with the drinks tray was almost my top choice, because I think on that new body, a drinks tray accessory would just look killer. I'd be absolutely buzzing to see that.
I can't believe they've not done that sooner either. Felt like an obvious choice for when it was the Return of the Jedi anniversary.
I was thinking the same.
I'm surprised that they didn't because they put R2 out on the 40th card.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't give it. It'd have been so good to have seen it with the drinks tray.
They gave you all the fucking cups, but they didn't give you the tray.
Yeah. What else have we? C-3PO with green goo, yes. Yeah. Max Rebo and the band, like we said. Prune Face as well, absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
And then like I said, David's been reading minds, because Dan, your pick for Return of the Jedi is the little fur boy himself.
It's Slogray! He's the medicine man. His little skull on his head. Oh,
I
it's
do
just
believe they think I am some sort of god.
look at him. Look
He's
at him.
beautiful.
He's,
What a chunky fairy Chad.
So we've had Ewoks, and I just can't believe how long it's taken us to get more. Like, just think, was it like 2 years ago that we got Wicket?
It was fucking criminal. He wasn't the first one we got as well.
Yeah, we got Paplu first, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that was part of an exclusive box set.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's this about? Come on. And then we got Tebow.
That's it, yeah.
Oh,
Paplu's had 2 releases as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on now.
Come on now. Come on.
Who else have we got? Chief Chirper needs a figure.
Chief Chirp needs a figure, definitely. But I'd argue Logray more, just because it's just, I just love that it's just a little skeleton, little scully boy with his little hat on, his little wiggly waggly stuff.
When you think of Ewoks, you instantly think of Wicket and Logray, don't you?
Yeah.
So, and that's nothing to do with the Power of the Force 2.
No, it's really not.
I jest. It's everything to do with Power of the Force 2.
He's just cute. All the Ewoks are cute, and I need them all now.
Yeah.
I need all the Ewoks, even the little baby one in the basket. Don't need to be articulated. Just give me corpsey the Ewok.
All
God
the
rest
fairies.
his little soul. I need all the fairies.
It's off topic, but I just feel like we've got to touch on this comment from Nick in the comments because he's put. I know it's not ROTJ, but the fact that you talked about Rebel pilots and didn't mention Porkins is a crime. We did mention Porkins, just not honourably and not as a top choice. And in fairness, Gold Leader was James's choice, not mine. So don't come at me. Don't come at Dan. Come at James. Have a go at him.
Yeah, come at me because you fucking lose.
I don't mind if you come at me. I like. Oh yeah.
Down, David. Down.
Easy now. But back to fairies. Back
to the fairies.
Like Sealand says, 3-pack potential there with Wicket, Logray, throw in Luke's lightsaber hill, 3PO in the chair. That's a must as well.
Yeah, 3PO in the chair.
Yeah, that's gotta happen.
Tell them if they don't release us, get angry and use your magic.
Oh, and include a flight stand.
Yeah, shove it up its ass.
Yeah.
Shove it up its ass. Go on. Yeah, right up in there. But nah, it's just a lot of probing going on in this stream. Come on now. But, you know, all the Ewoks just need to be made. I'm surprised that we haven't even had Nala yet, and I know she's... Is it Nala? What's her name? Princess Kanisa. Am I making these up? Am I tripping? Am I hallucinating right now? I don't know.
Princess Kanisa's from the actual Ewoks cartoon, isn't she?
Yeah.
Do her as well. I know that's not like Return Jedi, but I want all of her.
I would love to see that comic 2-pack that TVC got in Black Series.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yes. Just all the Ewoks. Need it.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like you said, it's in terms of when it comes to Ewok core characters, it's weird that Tebow was the first one to get made. Yeah. It's weird that they tested the water with Tebow first and then proceeded to do Wicket next and then Pat Blue, but then Logray's just been completely overlooked up to now. Yeah. Like and to my point as well about bang for your buck and stuff. My issue with Black Series Ewoks is that, especially with Wicket, who I've yet to pick up, and I refuse on principle grounds, is that it's just too damn small to warrant the same price as a regular figure.
Yeah,
it's like throw it in a 2-pack, give it more accessories. You can't justify the full RRP of a Black Series figure for Wicket, who is like half the size and comes with bugger all. It's so annoying, annoying. It really annoys me. Wicket and Logray would be prime for a 2-pack. I'm sure the figure's great, David. I really am, but I just can't. I'd pay a tenner for it.
It's good, but I did feel really shortchanged with it when I bought it at retail. I was like, it comes with all these
mate.
accessories, but come on, you could have fit another figure almost in that Black Series box.
Yeah, because he
There's
came in
an
the plastic free packaging, didn't he, as well? So I bet
Yeah.
like opening that
Yeah,
up
yeah.
and then up there he is.
I can't.
Jeez. No.
There's as yet an untapped formula as to how to handle these smaller figures, whether it's accessories or you just include something generic for the line as an overall, so a flight stand, a blast effect, something that makes it worth it.
This is it.
I mean, I wouldn't have been averse to them including a net or something like that. You could just interact with your other figures.
This is it.
They could have done what the Hot Toys did and put a couple of helmets in and a couple of drumsticks.
Yeah.
What was the point in that fucking bow and that bow and arrow that he had?
Yeah.
I'm never going to use that. Well, I might fucking display them, fucking celebrating the downfall of the Empire.
Yeah. They did that, didn't they? I think in Saga 02, they did the little helmet drum kit.
Yeah, they did.
That come with something, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm on it tonight.
There we go.
I've got everything to hand, and it's all fell like really, really like quite into my lap. Look at that.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that'd be even Lego have done that.
Yeah, that'd be sick in Black Series. Yeah. I'd love to see that. Pardon the dust. I don't do it very often. But yeah, an accessory such as that. I mean, and that's a static piece. Like the helmets aren't even removable. So just throwing something like that, just like little diorama pieces or just larger accessories that just make it so that you at least feel like you're getting your value for money, because I just don't get that with Black Series Ewoks. Jawas as well, you need something more. I think like I said, people have made cases for it in the comments, like Leaktar and Nip It. Like that's one I could forgive, because at least then you've got an accessory in the form of Nip It and a larger Ewok. But yeah, just give us accessories with smaller figures. That's my only ask when it comes to stuff like that. Is just pack the boxes out a little bit.
Yeah. It's been my complaint in a lot of my reviews, even with the bigger figures, like normal scale. Just fill the box out a bit more. It's not rocket science. Like,
yeah. Again, I don't know how these. I think all these figures have gravitated towards me, but Harry's just made a point. For a further Ewok, there was Warwick, who got released in a battle pack with Luke and Colonel Dyer. He included the glider thing to make it more worthwhile.
Yeah.
That was an amazing battle pack.
Yeah.
An amazing battle pack that I actually went and picked up. And there it is. It's like Black Series 6-inch scale that. And he even came with little rock boulders.
Oh, I'd love that.
So I only have this to hand because it fell off my shelf the other day. I had
fortuitous.
I've got it on a little hook, and the hook decided to take a leap off my shelf. So this guy went flying as well, and he didn't fly. He fell with style. So there we go.
And I'll go sailing no more.
So no, there's definitely a case to be made for Jawas. I think for me, it's just a case of how they're approached. Logray is one I could probably forgive because he is a larger Ewok. So
large boy.
Yeah, so I'd be all right with that. But yeah, I've still yet to find Wicket for a price I can stomach paying. But yeah, I'd like to see Logray in the Black Series. Absolutely. That brings us to my pick for the final movie in the original trilogy and our final pick of the night, I think. It comes again from Jabba's Palace, and it is one of, if not my favourite alien designs from the entirety of Star Wars. They've done multiple figures of this guy, and each one is so good for different reasons. But it is the Gran himself, Reese. Give us this drunken three-eyed boy on a Power of the Force anniversary card with a 6-inch scale freeze frame slide, your boy will do some serious modal nodes and jizz everywhere. But yeah, I just want this figure. I really want this figure in Black Series.
Can I just say I love the pitch you've gone for? Because he's kind of like, oh, me?
Oh, thanks for choosing me. I'm so glad you chose me. Nah, mate, I've just got like these character designs, like character aside, because you don't really see him much in the movie. He's just there getting pissed with yak face on the barge. And in that respect, he is my spirit animal. But
quite literally here for a good time, not a long time.
Literally. But this alien design, like the Gran, are just one of my favourite alien designs in all of Star Wars, and a lot of that, as anyone will know who's tuned into any of my videos or these streams for any period of time, I owe my love of this character design to the Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 video game, because these are the grunts that you have to encounter throughout the game non-stop. So in that sense, it serves as an army builder as well. Because and that's why it's instantly a character that I associate with that game, which instantly I associate with nostalgia and childhood memories and all that sort of stuff. It's the game that got me into Star Wars. But then, like I said, action figures, seeing him in the movies, still images, like the Grand Species are just such a cool design, and I just think they're so cool. And I think a Black Series version of this would just be so good.
There was one of them in Skeleton Crew, wasn't there, that had one of the eyes missing with an eye patch on.
Yeah.
So, 2 for the price of 1, Hasbro. Fucking get it done.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just think as well, like you said with video games, you can almost Hasbro be a bit more bolder and slap on Return of the Jedi in the pack, but then just include accessories that are more like in tune with the video games, because I'm thinking Dark Forces, you can encounter a couple of these in that game, and they're actually holding these bandoliers with like grenades. And if they included that, like just a bandolier with grenades, accessory the fuck out of it, I'd lap this up. I'd buy a couple as army builders.
Hasbro have shown that they can fucking do that as well. Not necessarily in the same format, but with that TVC hammerhead that they showed recently. How it came with like accessory from each figure release. Just apply the resources to the different source materials and take an accessory from each thing the characters come from.
Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same in Dark Forces 2 as well, Dan, because these guys use thermal detonators in that. They also use E11s. So if you're packing E11 in with him, please don't put the fucking light on the barrel, please and thanks. But yeah, a little thermal detonator. I'm thinking in the same way as Leia Boosh, like just put a peg on it that fits in the hand, and jobs are good. And all, like I said, with the new vintage collection hammerhead that they've done, draw some inspiration from Power of the Force 2. You don't see this guy use any weapons in the movie, so just pack in the weapons that came with the Power of the Force 2 figure, just a couple of blaster pistols, something like that. Just a newly sculpted blaster would suffice. But I think purely from a sculpt standpoint, from an aesthetic point of view alone, like this is the one figure from Jabba's Palace that I want. I know it's not the most iconic. You could make a case for the Weequay Skiff Guard before this guy, absolutely, especially given his sort of placement in the movie, that he's got a more iconic role for pushing Luke trying to push Luke into the Sarlacc. And I'd take that one as well, because the Weequays are the same. Fond gaming memories of beating those up as grunts. So I just think, just give us all the aliens.
Jabba's Palace is the biggest untapped potential, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if you've seen my videos, I've got a Jabba's Palace little diorama that big shout out to Becky's Builds for helping me make. I want to inhabit it more with aliens like this.
Yeah.
And the fact that we haven't had more of that, and even like the subtle things like that R2 with a drinks tray, C-3PO with a bit of green on him with his eye popped out. Why haven't we got stuff like this yet? I don't know. Especially, and I always thought we'd probably get more stuff when it was the Return of the Jedi's, anniversary. But we just didn't.
Yeah.
For how many times some of those basic characters have seen re-releases, whether it be through archive or in multi-packs as well. Just a tiny little bit of variance could have guaranteed Hasbro, a few more sales here and there. So.
Yeah,
definitely. Just while it's fresh in my mind, just going back to accessories and what could be included with this figure, I just completely forgot. It slipped my mind entirely that this figure got an original Kenner release in '83, and that figure came with not a blaster pistol but like a gold staff. So upscale that, stick that in Black Series, and give us that. Like, there's just so much you could do with it. That would anything that they included with this figure would just be like, yeah, that's cool. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the vintage collection one that came out, I think it was included with the initial Jabba's Palace playset that they did, which was the smaller playset. That figure came with, and here he is again. I've got it to hand. That one came with recreations of the Power of the Force 2 weapons, which I thought was amazing. And like I said, can you imagine that figure? Because I think of the two, the vintage collection one is undoubtedly the better figure. The sculpt on this, I think, from a quality perspective, still holds up, but this is obviously more accurate to what we see on screen. So imagine that upscaled into Black Series. I would absolutely lap that up.
Yeah.
It's such a cool design. It's such a cool looking character. And like I said, if you're an army builder, it serves a couple of different purposes, because if and when we get that Kyle Katarn figure, it's going to happen. I'm manifesting it. This guy's going to serve as like the ultimate grunt for that.
Yeah.
And, getting a display put together for Dark Forces would be absolutely awesome. So, yeah, I'm just going to sit here and make a case for Aliens all night long, because I think it's one of the biggest, like you said, untapped markets for Black Series. They don't do enough, and I'd just absolutely love to see more. So,
yeah,
thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So there we go. I think that wraps it up. We don't have any more picks. That's all our picks done and dusted. If there's any more characters that you guys can think of, by all means, drop them in the comments. And if you catch this on replay, let us know what figures you'd like to see from the original trilogy as well, because I think, like we've said throughout this stream, at least from A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, there's definitely a plethora of weird and wonderful glup shitters that Hasbro could make, and hopefully, as the momentum of Black Series continues, it's something that we see moving forward. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. You've all been, like, your suggestions have been on fire. We're going to close it out with a few more comments before we wrap things up completely. But Harry has mentioned the Emperor's Advisors from when he arrives on the Death Star. They're, again, figures that got Kenner releases back in the day that I think everyone would love to see again. The Imperial Dignitaries. Who else have we got mentioned?
Oh, yeah.
Nicters. Someone mentioned in there. Yeah, Sea Lion said Nicters would have been amazing to see. I think this is pertaining to Ree-Yees. Did I miss something? Mando Season 2 post-credit scene. Ree-Yees is there.
I vaguely think he's one of the characters in the background that does a fucking runner. When everything kicks off and a couple of them that are like in the very back of the palace behind the throne bugger off. I'd have to rewatch the scene again, which is stupid because I've probably watched it hundreds of times by now. But on the box for the throne release, that Hasbro did actually have the figure in the background with the Boba Fett characters up front. So maybe that is.
I'll have to go back and check that out. Oh yeah, he said there he's talking in the back with the lady with the spiky red hair. Oh yeah, I'll have to go and check that out then. I don't remember that.
Throw it out there about Ree-Yees, that particular species as well. I think it's Senator Kyrus is the name of the character.
Yeah.
In the I forget the name of the episode. It's when Hondo has got Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku prisoner.
Yeah.
and he demands a
Yeah.
ransom. And so Jar Jar goes with the senator with the ransom, and he's iconic for having the staff of Ra from Indiana Jones.
They've got the
So
sculpt.
come on, I mean,
They've got the sculpt. Do it.
Yeah. I think someone mentioned in the comments as well that if you're going to do a Gran, then stick Mahonic out there, the smaller Gran pod racer pilot.
yeah.
I'd be here for that as well.
Yeah.
The Senator Ask Ak as well from Revenge of the Sith. Stick him on one of those anniversary Revenge of the Sith cards. I'd buy that as well. I'd be here for it all. To be fair, there you go, James. Luke's mentioned it's Clone Wars episode. Gungan
That's the
General.
one. I always
Yeah.
forget the individual titles when they are so many together.
And then just to satisfy you, David, I'll ask you again, are you three going to Echo Base Live next week? No, we're not, unfortunately.
No.
But like we said at the beginning of the stream, we will be at Liverpool Comic Con in May, on May 3rd. And if any of you guys are attending the Star Wars Fan Fun Day in Blackburn the following day on May 4th, we'll all be there as well. So there's tons of stuff to look forward to event-wise, tons of stuff, no doubt, I'm sure, to look forward to content-wise. Dan, have you got anything lined up for us?
So you know when I said that I had a video that was uploaded at 6. It was no, I didn't. I'd set it for tomorrow. So I've changed that. If everyone wants to go to my channel, about in half an hour's time, there'll be a new video up going live. I'll be in the comments. If no one's there, cool, that's fine. I'll catch up with everyone on one of these streams later. But yeah, I've got a new video coming up later on Commander Bakara. Okay, cheers.
Nice, happy days. I'm hoping within the next week or two that my pre-order of Prince Shizor. Prince Shizor. I'm hoping Prince Shizor will be with me next week. Prince Shizor from the Black Series should be with me next week, and Commander Bakara as well. So I will be I'll be lightning fast, and I swear that. when I say it with my Shizor review, because when I say I'm excited about that figure, I really mean I'm excited about that figure, because Power of the Force 2, 90s nostalgia, all that sort of stuff, that figure speaks to me. So when that figure arrives, got it on pre-order with Star Action Figures, that review will be going live on the channel. I've got tons of other Black Series figures, a backlog of stuff to review as well. So hopefully when I can find the motivation, I can pull one of those probes out of my arse, then I'll get to that and get some reviews out. James, there's always photographic content going up on your Insta. Is there anything that we can look forward to? Anything that we can look forward to?
I don't know. I put a picture of that Cody up today. I might stick one of Savage up. I haven't seen. Well, there's certain people in Facebook groups that get these figures at the same time as me, and they post them, and the shittest poses going. I'll leave the name out, but figure it out. There was a reference in the stream earlier, if you're a keen-eyed viewer. I digress. Yeah, I mean, I've started posting some other things as well as Star Wars that, it's a bit of a 50-50 poll. A couple of people were a bit pissed off about it. I had some nice messages from some individuals saying post what makes me happy, so bollocks to anyone who doesn't think
absolutely
the same.
There we go.
Because fuck it, I've spent too much money on it already, so it's going on my Instagram whether people like it or not. Other than that, mate, the well is fucking dry. Hot Toys are sleeping soundly, which means there'll probably be a release this week to further my financial crippling, because I've just fucking said that they're sleeping and they're doing nothing. But now, pictures, that's all that's coming.
Cool.
You know how it is. I fucking have an idea every once in a while, and that's when a video will come out, but
it's alright.
It's like a fucking golden rooster.
Yeah. Well, as and when, mate, we're always here for it. But yeah, like I said, there's always stuff to look forward to. We have, of course, got another one of these wishlist streams coming up down the road. We've got the Black Series sequel trilogy wishlist still to come, which will, of course, wrap up these Skywalker Saga wish lists. We haven't yet set a date for that, but we'll probably try and get it out within the next month or so to keep the momentum going. And then, like I said, last time around, me and Dan will be teaming up with the forces with Jesse once again to bring you an anniversary celebration of the Power of the Force 2. So stay tuned for that. And then, like I said, there'll be content to come out of the events that we're attending in May. So, just keep your eyes peeled. But if that's everything, gents, I will let you get on with your evening. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll see you all on the next one. Until next time, as always, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.